Wow.
So Captain America.
Mm.
This article, just kind of using as a quick reference, to be fair, it's just the box office projections. So they come out with their box office projections, and they've done quite a big range. It's like, so it's $81 million to $107 million domestically first weekend. They say that there's a likely figure of 96 million. I reckon that's way too high.
I agree.
I reckon that's I do not see anyone giving a shit about this film at all. This has had multiple reshoots,
fake
multiple
Captain
test
America.
screens.
Yeah. And are they saying that even if it did do 96 to 107, that's still bad? They saying that that's still
no, they're
not
trying
enough.
to say that that's a win.
Okay, all right.
I mean, that still would be bad, to be fair, if it did 107 million. So the few things that you can sort of take to the bank with Marvel is that their movies are front loaded at the box office. So opening weekend is really important for Marvel films. If they don't hit a good number opening weekend, they generally don't go off to make that much money, because they tend to, on average, have a 60% drop off in the second weekend, which is huge. That's a huge drop off. So that's why the opening weekend is so important for Marvel, because they rely on FOMO, fear of missing out. They were relying on people, Marvel movies being water cooler films, where on a Monday morning you'd be in your office and you'd be talking about the film and what you did and blah blah blah. And same thing in school, you'd be talking about it on a Monday morning from the weekend. It was super important that you'd get there that opening weekend to talk about it, so you'd avoid spoilers and you'd know it all. No one gives a shit now, though. So yeah, I mean, this is the story, is that, yeah, well, one, that they're overshooting it, 81 to 107. I actually think it would. It's not breaking $100 million opening weekend. I'd be very surprised if it does. Be really surprised. I don't know where I'd put it.
I was thinking like 70, 75.
Yeah. There's just no excitement for this anywhere.
No.
I could be wrong. I could eat my words, lay it down the line. But I'm not seeing it. And they think 96 million.
So it's far too high. Yeah.
But also, you got to remember, right? So as this article notes, if they're saying a likely figure of 96 million, a lot of outlets are going, yeah, that's a win. Closer to comparison. It's a closer comparison to past Marvel, successes. It reveals a different story. One suggests Marvel's decline. Because if you're looking at Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, that was $106 million opening in 2023, but that was a disaster. Basically, it was a bomb. So if this gets less than that, that's really not good.
It's going to be a disaster.
You've got, well, they're also predicting that the film will top out domestically at $195 million to $280 million. That's just domestic, not worldwide. But that's pretty bad. So Captain America.
If you started out at 107 million and you only got to 195,
yeah.
Holy goodness gracious, that's bad.
But that makes sense though, if they do the 60% drop off. But yeah, so Captain America: Civil War in 2016. So just for inflation, that's a big. I mean, nearly 10 years. A big difference on inflation. That opened to $180 million domestic in 2016. That's a lot of money now.
Yeah.
And that would take in $408 million domestic. So this is a failure. Captain America: Winter Soldier opened with 95 million, earned 260 million domestically.
There's factors that have changed though. The Winter Soldier movie opened at 95 million, right? But it did so with fewer premium large format screens, with lower
Yeah.
ticket prices, because ticket prices have risen well beyond the even the silly inflation rate that we had here globally. So wouldn't your argument be that this thing is going to shit the bed completely? I mean, I can't expect that there are going to be more people go see this, and even if it does make similar to Winter Soldier, that's a lot fewer butts and seats. I mean, like the number of people consuming your product has fallen precipitously, which is why another article that came out of that Park Place in the last few days was talking about the fact that Disney's lost like 30% of their customer base.
It's funny. It's interesting. I think maybe there has begun to be an actual paradigm shift. Like I think about like maybe normies. It might take years and years and years for them to wake up to something or other, like the Tory party in Britain or the Democrat party in America or whatever it is, or that loads and loads of Hollywood films are complete dross. It might take them years to wake up to it, but when they do, that's it. It's over. I think maybe we've actually finally we're seeing that paradigm shift, that Overton window actually move.
Oh,
now.
It did move. Yeah.
I mean, for me, just personally, just my personal opinion on that.
Yeah.
Even if it's like 2-3 years time, I see this movie's coming on TV, and all I've got to do is not turn the channel over. I'm not even doing that. No, I'm going to turn it over. Captain America, yeah, no thanks. He's been race swapped to a black man. Yeah, no, I'm turning it off. Thanks, no thanks. So that's just me and my prejudices. But there you go. I don't think a lot of people want this movie. Who wants this movie? Really?
No. Well, they've also included a bunch of Hulk villains against Captain America. It's like, okay, surely they should be against Hulk. It's a bit of a weird one, but all right. It's just all over the place.
And Sam isn't even a super soldier. Like he would any of these hits that Captain America or the Winter Soldier would take, because they're super soldiers, they can survive from. He would be dead. So he's basically like a Batman type character without a Batman suit. He has a flying suit with wings and.
Well, first and foremost, I think aluminum siding is going to become more popular now, just based on these wings. But second, I'm going to say that I think at the same time, Nick, and correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't his new suit from Wakandan technology? So apparently, he's a human shock absorber. See, they had to explain their problem with continuity.
It's those incredibly smart Africans.
Yeah.
With their utopia in Wakanda.
Yeah, and something else I was looking at. So all the Marvel movies with opening weekends between 70 and 80 million have been Eternals, Shang-Chi, Ant-Man and Wasp, and Black Widow.
That's bad.
And I see
they all bombed. Spectacular.
And I see this basically falling in that same category of films.
Wow.
I don't see it getting up there to Captain America Winter Soldier level when the MCU was still in its early phases, but that was the first. Winter Soldier is my favorite.
I think I like the first one. I like the first Avenger.
Yeah, the first one was good
I thought was great, and that one was an incredible follow-up. I mean, you don't expect things to improve upon the original, and that film did. And the natural progression, even in the comics originally, was going to be Bucky. So, if you want to pass the mantle, do it the right way. Make it another super.
Yeah, they don't understand a hero's journey.
No,
they don't understand it, right? And Bucky would have had a hero's journey to pass the mantle. So
and he got shoved into this now terrible idea of these Thunderbolts. That is going to suck rocks. I know a lot of people have said that there's some good test screening information out there and stuff like that. I don't buy it. Did you see Yelena's still wearing the I shit my pants baggy pants and this fucking thing? And Yelena, the new Black Widow chick or whatever her name is.
Right.
she's wearing shit pants.
You buying
Yeah,
them?
and I mean, yeah, I mean, like, look, I mean, Joe Biden's going to be proud of her, and there are a few other people out there that these costumes don't look good anymore. I mean, it's bad, and it's not. Obviously the costumes are just one element. I got 1,000 things I can say that Thunderbolts looks like hot garbage. You know, the interaction that they have with other heroes and villains, and none of it makes sense. And why do we have to have the Suicide Squad, you know, version without any of the original characters? Remember, they pulled Sentry out of this thing, right? So you don't have Sentry, you don't have
No, Sentry's in it.
Is he? Because
Yeah.
I remember they recast him, and then there was some kind of controversy, and then
he's in it. He's in the trailer. He's the guy that's just like kind of standing around, a bit weird looking.
It doesn't look like Sentry. All right.
Okay.
Anyway, well, I believe you. I'm just going to say Thunderbolt Ross is not in this, which is the whole reason it was called Thunderbolt. You know, the asterisk is like, okay, well, you know, I feel like it's Barry Bonds doesn't get the home run record because they put an asterisk next to his name. This is going to suck ass.
So going back to Captain America, then, do we think this is going to bomb? Yes or no?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, I would have thought so.
By how much? How much do you think it's going to lose?
Ooh, what's the budget at this thing? I mean, we don't really know.
425. 425.
Man, I think it's probably
that's not
more
the
than
budget.
that.
The budget was lower than that, but that's how much they've spent. And I cannot wait for Company's House to come out with this one. We're gonna know how much
they shot most of this in America.
Oh,
it's eye-watering, isn't it? That amount of money. I would like to see a complete implosion and an overhaul of everything that Hollywood is. I'd like to see it where they used to go back. They go back to like what they used to do in the 50s or even pre-World War II, where a studio would pump out like 6, 8, 10 films a year, right? And a lot of them were crap, but it was all about the writing and the acting, and the budgets were small. And then every now and again, they would come out with an absolute diamond. They would come out with a masterpiece. I'd rather Hollywood be like that than this. I mean, what an eye-watering amount of money. Scarcely believable. Scarcely believable.
I reckon it's going to lose. Oh, I reckon this could be on par with Indiana Jones. I reckon this could lose like $250-300 million. There you go. That's my prediction.
Yeah, I'm kind of in the same boat, probably right around that range. I think 250-300.
I think. Are we talking globally?
How much it can lose? Yeah, overall. How much money it can lose?
I'm working on it.
Don't work too hard, mate.
280 million, maybe 290 million, somewhere in there, just shy of 300.
Okay. Yeah, so basically the same thing. Yeah.
You know, because they're going to be promoting this during the Super Bowl, which they're going to spend a crap ton on that advertising and marketing.
When's the Super Bowl?
February something.
Right. Yeah.
4th, I think, or 2nd. February 3rd.
Yeah, it's right before the MegaCon meetup this year at Orlando. So.
Right. Well, there you go. Captain America, Blacked in America is going to fail, I reckon. We shall see.